Yo, welcome to another episode of the Culturally Controversial Podcast. I'm your host, Simply Nichols87, and this is my co-host, Ty H.
Good evening, folks. It's good to be back. It's been a
Good,
while.
good to be back, man. Hey, for all the new subscribers out there, hit the like button. Also, hit the notification bell, let you know when we're going live. Well, we've been few far in between, but we trying to get back on track a little bit. Busy schedules, but we're gonna try to get y'all some content. I couldn't miss out on this one because there's a lot of good stuff that's been spewing in the week of sports this week. So
Yeah.
I got a lot to talk about. Super Bowl, NBA did the trades, and the commissioner's annual whatever you want to call it, but and more. So yes, y'all sit down, grab you something nice to drink.
Get your popcorn.
Get your popcorn ready because we finna bring y'all a show tonight. But anyway, like I said, all the new people out there, hit that subscribe button. All the old people out there, y'all know what to do. Share the content. Hit that like button, man. It takes us a long way with that like button. We want to get out there in your YouTube neck of the woods, or your YouTube neck of the woods, or your YouTube neck of the woods. So y'all come on, man. Come and join us tonight, man. We finna have a good time. We finna parlay. We finna chill. We finna talk about sports. This is sports. This is what it is. Sports talk on a Friday night. Ready for you can kind of say like Super Bowl Eve, I guess.
Yeah, man. We're on Super Bowl weekend, so we can count that.
Yeah. So let's get into it. The Super Bowl. That's what I want to talk about first. We got the Super Bowl 57 played out in the great state of Arizona. Got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams number one seeds in their respective conferences. Both teams have high power offenses. I would say one team has a pretty decent defense and the other one has a pretty good pass rush. So we're gonna see what will prevail first. But in this matchup, you got the first two African American quarterbacks to face each other. Black History Month. Shout out to Black History Month. It's been an amazing month in Black history. So let's keep that going. And I'm excited about it. I know my team didn't make it, but I think it's more than just my team making this something. It's kind of like one of those Super Bowls that I've been wanting to watch for a while because the last couple have been kind of stale, and I'm kind of like I haven't really watched a lot. The last few Super Bowls I hadn't watched. I know last year I definitely didn't. I wasn't tuned into that one like at all, considering the game wasn't that bad of a game, but it wasn't really an interesting game.
Bengals and the Rams game last year.
Yeah, it wasn't really that interesting. I was one of those storybook Super Bowls where the home team is at home, and we didn't sing that story the year before that, so it was kind of like.
But that back-to-back years where the team that hosted actually got to the Super Bowl. Prior to then, it never happened before. Then it happened in 2020. It didn't happen again in 2021.
Yeah, so that was kind of a stale thing. Now you got two teams that are neutrally. It's a neutral site for once.
Yeah,
nobody's the home team. I mean they're gonna consider somebody a home team, but nobody's the home team.
Yeah, nobody's playing in their city or their venue.
Right. So I feel like this one's gonna be one of those. I feel like this is gonna be one of those good ones, like one that I say like this. This is gonna be a closer game than the people expect it to be, in my opinion. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, you got the high-powered Kansas City Chiefs coming in the season scoring, I want to say it was 536 points. And you got the Philadelphia Eagles, high-powered offense, coming in scoring 536 points. So we're going to see what's got to offer. But, I want to go through each team. I'm going to go with Philly. They pretty much just ran through the NFC like wildfire. So, I mean, with that being said, their division, I'm not going to say their division was slack because everybody in their division made the playoffs except one team.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that coming from 2 or 3 years ago, that was like one of the worst divisions in football. Says a lot. You got a coach of the year. His team did make the playoffs.
Nick Sirianni was his name, I think.
Yeah, now Dabo won Coach of the Year.
Who won it?
The Giants coach.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
well deserved because they actually surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, because they made the playoffs. They don't have a quarterback with Daniel Jones, and they still and that was a team that's been bad last few years, had the same nucleus, and they ended up making the playoffs. So I thought that was an excellent coach job. He did deserve that accolade.
Yeah, he deserved that one. That was well deserved, and I don't. I'm still questioning. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm questioning, but I kind of figured who was gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. That
Nick Bosa.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to Nick Bosa and Michael Parsons, that's a coin flip.
Yeah, considering that I think Parsons only got one first place vote.
Yeah, but Parsons line up in multiple places. Parsons line up in linebacker, line up defensive end. He put his hand in dirty defensive end. I've seen him back off the line. Not taking anything away from Nick Bosa. I think they're both great players, and I think I wouldn't know if either one of them could have won it, and I wouldn't have had a problem with either one of them.
No, I wouldn't have a problem with him, but I kind of figured it was going to lean towards Bosa winning Defensive Player of the Year. I knew who was going to win Offensive Player of the Year. I seen that one coming from a mile away, Jefferson. I just feel bad he ain't got a quarterback, But
yeah,
they made do what it do. Special talent, and as far as the rookies, I know I think it was who won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Sauce Gardner, I think that's who it was.
Darius Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
With Sauce played the Jets, don't
he? Yeah, with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up this year. I mean, a lot of people.
If the Jets all the Jets need is a quarterback.
Thank you. That's what I was been telling one of my.
And it don't even have to be a great quarterback. All they need is a quarterback who can just get them through.
Yeah, that's it. That was the whole problem this year.
Because Zach Wilson's not even serviceable.
No.
I feel like this. They could win with Jimmy Garoppolo.
They could. They could be a playoff team.
Yeah, because basically, that's because Jimmy Garoppolo's not this great quarterback. The 49ers are built similar. Got this great defense, good running attack, and he's good enough to not F the game up. He could do the same thing with the
game manager.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo be a perfect fit for the Jets.
I hope they get him, but I feel like they're going to be leaning towards another direction. I think
if they stick with Zach Wilson, Robert Saleh is going to get fired.
Well, I don't want him to get fired because
I don't either. But if he's going to be blindly loyal to Zach Wilson, that's what's going to happen to him.
I don't think he will, because I feel like he'll stand up because he did bench him. So
Zach Wilson is on his way out of the league, and I'm gonna tell you who else on his way out of the league. And 2 or 3 years from now, you're gonna see Mac Jones working on ABC covering college football.
Hey, I ain't arguing with you on that. I'm not
Mac Jones, just like Greg McElroy. I said that when he got drafted. I said this guy. I don't say how in the world this guy was the first round draft pick. I said he ain't got Devontae Smith running wide open down the field anymore. I said in 3 or 4 years he'll be out of the league working. Him and Tim Tebow and Greg McElroy can all be on College Game Day together.
Yeah, they will. They'd be like they'd be the main host.
They're like Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and all them Fox. Same thing.
Me personally, I agree with you on that point. But this is me, and I hope they do it. They need to go ahead and bite the bullet, get rid of that draft pick, and get what you can. Because Lamar's trying to get out of Baltimore, and I'll take him.
Yeah, I don't know what. Do you think them Baltimore gonna come to terms? You think they're gonna trade him?
I think they're gonna trade him. Nothing good is gonna come out of what's gonna happen. So if you tag him, it's not gonna be good.
Nah,
they're not coming to.
If you tag him, I don't think he's gonna report.
No, he ain't gonna report. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not gonna be good in either situation. He wants to get out of there. Now, here's the side of my story. I'll put it this way: he deserves money, but the money that he's asking for, but
the thing about it, but quarterbacks are getting overpaid like that anyway. And
it started with Deshaun.
And you got to realize he has an MVP on his resume.
Thank you.
There are quarterbacks who have MVP who's gotten all this guaranteed money. If people like Kirk Cousins and stuff were getting guaranteed money, they were getting. Lamar's done more than him.
He has. I give you that.
I'm about to say, and I didn't want to go there today, but the only reason it's a big deal is because it's a black kid with cornrows and who they want to label as a runner. and that's why they don't want to pay him. Let's call it like it is.
It's a spade. Yeah, you're right. They don't want to pay him, and the thing is, the man has showed you I can play at a high level. I won an MVP at quarterback.
He played well this year before he got hurt.
Yeah,
and then when people, and before people talk about him getting injured, he got hurt standing in the pocket. He got hit. He got hit low while standing in the pocket throwing the ball. It wasn't scrambling out. They didn't block for him. They didn't have a great offensive line. They couldn't protect him, and that's how they got him hurt. The same way Newton got hurt when he got hurt his shoulder. He was standing in the pocket when it happened.
And my thing with that is, I don't blame him. Even if he felt good to play in the playoffs, I don't blame him not coming back. I wouldn't have came back.
Nah, think of Robert Griffin III.
Yep. You know what happened with that?
And he never was the same again.
Nope. And I blame it on upper management.
Well, Mike Shanahan didn't want him in the first place.
No, he didn't want a black quarterback.
Nah, exactly. And then as more
specifically, two quarterbacks in the same year. You got
because that's Cousins in the 5th round or something like that.
Yeah, so that right there told you like
Dan Snyder made him draft RG3.
Yeah, I know.
That was a Dan Snyder thing, yeah.
But if it want Dan Snyder, he wasn't gonna pick RG3. I can tell you that now. That wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, and Mike Shanahan's an excellent offensive coach, but I always felt like there were certain quarterbacks that he didn't like, and I feel like Robert Griffin III fits that mold of what he doesn't like.
But Robert Griffin got you to the playoffs, so
yes, he did as a rookie. Sure did.
Yep.
And before he banged his knee, they were up 14-0 in that game before the injury started. Yep. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. He's doing his thing with ESPN, ABC now. So I mean,
yeah.
Robert's changed a lot too, because back in the day, Robert used to be one of them that when it came to black issues and stigmas and stuff like that, he used to want to talk about stuff like that. He used to be one of those that even act like he didn't see things like that. But I think after what he went through in the NFL and the experiences he went through, and with the experience of the stigma that comes with the position, I think that kind of evolved his line of thinking.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. And again, I think Lamar is worthy of getting money. Like, he should get paid like Kyler Murray, who hasn't done anything. Deshaun Watson, who
Deshaun Watson fleeced the Browns, but everybody. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on the man for getting his money.
No, I ain't gonna. No. I'm not gonna. You get your money, but
get your money. The way injuries and stuff can derail your career, get all the guaranteed money you can get, and I can't blame Lamar for getting all the money that he can get. And if Baltimore don't pay him, somebody will.
Yeah, somebody gonna pay him. But my thing is, he's deserving of the money. Like he earned the money.
If I was Carolina, I'd give away those picks that I got from McCaffrey and the 9th pick of this year to get him.
Yeah, I would. If that's what the fit they want to put in there.
They can work with him. White had Carson Wentz, who's a dual threat quarterback. I know they're not gonna call Carson Wentz dual threat quarterback, but he is.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah, because Josh Allen had the second most attempts. Josh Allen had the second most rush attempts of all quarterbacks, second or third most rush attempts of all quarterbacks, and was second or third in the rushing yards amongst all quarterbacks, but they never called him a dual threat.
Nope.
And he was the second or third leading rusher of all quarterbacks. He had about 800 yards rushing, 700 something, nearly 800 yards rushing this year. Second, third amongst all quarterbacks, but nobody called him a dual threat quarterback.
We know why.
Of course. Carson Wentz, when he plays, runs quite a bit too. It scrambles a lot, but they don't call him a dual threat.
No, they don't call him a dual threat. But you know, it is what it is. But I hope Lamar get his money. I hope he goes somewhere where he can get paid. But I think
a lot of people think Atlanta's going to get him because they're like Arthur Blank kind of is thinking like what he had in Michael Vick.
It's possible. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not, but I feel like
breaking news on my phone. Josh McCown did something. Let's see what's happening with Josh McCown. Hang on. Josh McCown. Hold on. Dang it! I didn't mean to click on the link. Hold on. I was just trying to get it to show up. Josh McCown is he joined Frank Reich's coaching staff. I thought it was something boy.
Oh,
Josh McCown lives in Charlotte anyway.
Yeah. But I hope Lamar get his money. But I just gonna say the chapter in Baltimore is pretty much over. That's dead in the water. That's not going anywhere. I mean, that's their fault, and they got to live with it. You know, I hope Brett Huntley wakes up and
That ain't the answer. They bet. Well, if they want to run that same offense, there's a man who used to be here in Carolina. I mean, at least if they could draft a quarterback too, but at least between that stopgap, they can use him as a stopgap. At least you won't have to change offense that much.
No, you won't have to.
Or hope that Seattle doesn't sign Geno Smith back and see if they can get Geno Smith or something. Because quarterbacks don't just hit free agency, so it's not like you typically don't have starting caliber quarterbacks just in the free agent market. So
shout out to Geno Smith for winning comeback player of the year
and making a Pro Bowl as an initial selection, not as an alternate.
Yep. I mean, he proved it. I mean, Geno played good this year. I don't care how many.
It's amazing what coaching can do. You get him there with Pete Carroll versus when he was playing with Rex Ryan and some of those other idiots. It's amazing what coaching can do.
Yeah. When he went Todd Bowles too?
Yeah, but by that time Bowles got there, they were going with Fitzpatrick and stuff.
Okay. But, I mean, I'm glad he kind of bounced back like that.
Poor Todd Bowles. He's in a bad situation now.
Yeah.
And, man, they scapegoated Byron Leftwich like crazy, man. That's some bull what they did to Byron Leftwich.
I think you
got a washed 45-year-old, and you're gonna blame that on
the other washed 45
years ago. The same coordinator.
Yeah.
Brady missing throws like crazy. He ain't got it no more. The offensive line's not great, and somehow that's Byron Leftwich's fault.
I can't blame that on Byron.
Brady already got Bruce Arians out of the head coach position. They moved him to the front office. It was like they tried to do everything he wanted, and I was like, dude, he's 45. I'm about to say eventually his age was gonna catch up to him, and it finally did.
I think Bruce seen it coming, so that's why he just like, all right, I'm good. He's seen it coming.
Now and what's gonna happen? Probably Bowles after this season when they go like 3-14 now, about to 13. He probably will get fired.
Yep.
And they need a quarterback.
Yeah. They're gonna have to rebuild. This time for them to rebuild anyway.
Well, I mean, they got decent guys on defense. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. You got guys to throw it to. They just got to get somebody to throw it.
The line.
The line is not great. That old man who was never mobile. He was a sitting duck.
I think that's the most Brady ever got hit in his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 2 years.
And you saw how he looked. You see, there's a difference when you got no time to throw and when you don't.
Yeah. It's a big difference.
That's probably why maybe he'll be retired for real this time and stay retired.
We'll see.
He lost his wife for the scrap this year.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he is though. I feel like this one
was. What does he have to prove?
Nothing. He has every record possible, the man.
You got the Super Bowls. You got the MVPs. you got all the records. I mean, what
you're gonna be a first ballot? You're gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer, no matter.
Even when you left the team that you did all this with and went to a completely different team, and then you won a Super Bowl down there at age 43. What more do you have to prove?
You have nothing else to prove. You're gonna get selected in 2028 when it's time for Hall of Fame.
Yes,
they're gonna pick you. There's no question. You're gonna get picked. That's just evident. They're not gonna overpass you. You got that. That's you good.
If he would have retired 10 years ago, he'd still be the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. If he had left with Peyton Manning, both of them would have went in the same class. I think they both would have been first ballot.
Yeah. Peyton's already in, right?
Yeah, he got in
like a couple years ago, right?
I want to say like 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been to they're 16 to 20. It's 5 years, so he got in 21.
Okay.
20 or 21, something like that. So
I wish Chilltown was here so I could junk to him about his brother Eli. Because me and him get into it about Eli every time.
Yeah.
Because my sister loves Eli, and I always be like, I was like, Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. He's like, yes, he is. Eli Manning is totally a Hall of Famer. What do you mean Eli Manning's not a Hall of Famer? I'm like, yes, he is. He's not.
He's not a first ballot. I put it that way.
I don't think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer, period.
They let Terrell Davis in.
Yeah, well, Terrell Davis was like the best player in his position the little bit he played.
Yeah, he played, 6 years?
Yeah, but for 4 of those years, he was by far the best running back in the game.
I seen a stat the other day. That's why I said that, because they did a comparison. I don't know. You probably seen it, too.
I may have.
It was Terrell Davis and Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, but Zeke ain't really been seriously injured. He just
Yeah,
Zeke just seemed like he lost a step.
It was more so they put the yards in comparison. They played the same amount. They're going by the years.
Yeah.
But the only difference is 2 Super Bowls, a bunch of All Pros, Pro Bowls, and whatnot. So, I mean, he'll get there. I'm not gonna say he's not. He's getting yards. He's at like 8,000.
Yeah, but it's been a drop off the last couple of years.
Yeah.
This year he only had about 800 or something yards.
Yeah, Pollard.
He doesn't have that burst like he used to. That other back that he used got more of a burst.
Yeah, Pollard. But I don't think Pollard gonna be there long.
In the next year or two, Zeke's gonna be a salary cap casualty.
Basically, yeah. All that money. I mean, this is last year in that contract the extension that he had. So
yeah, and what's gonna happen? He's gonna end up like with the Miami Dolphins or something.
Yeah. I mean he gonna be able to. I don't know what he's gonna do, but
or the Washington Commanders, they like to get pickups like that too.
Yeah, they pick up. I don't know what you want to call it, leftovers or.
Yeah, they love to do that. Like I remember the Washington Redskins when they had Deion Sanders when he was washed.
Yeah.
Who else they love to pick up guys. They had Darryl Green when he was washed. Bruce Smith when he was washed.
Well, they had Derrick Green from the go. At the time Derrick Green was there, he hadn't played about maybe 10 years.
Okay, I'll let it go with Bruce Smith. They got Bruce Smith when he was old.
Yeah, Bruce Smith was washed then. They had Champ Bailey was the youngest player. I think he was the youngest one because
but they traded him for Clinton Portis. Remember?
Yeah, Clinton Portis.
Clinton Portis was still young when he got there. If Clinton Portis would have stayed in Denver with Mike Shanahan, man, he would have broke all kind of records.
Oh yeah, he was they workload. I think
when he went to Washington, man, it's like he had to carry that on his shoulder in Washington. Whereas in Denver were always running back friendly, man. They were signing backs off the street, man.
Who was that back that they got? I think he was after Portis. He was pretty good too.
Tatum Bell.
Was it Bell? Somebody else. It was him and somebody else. They were like
they had Ruben Drones.
There you go. Drones was pretty good for a while, and then he
was good for about 2 years. And they traded him to Cleveland after that 1 year. The year because after Portis left, Ruben Drones became the starting running back because he was a fullback, and they made him a tailback. And then after that 1 year, he had like 1,100 yards. They traded him to Cleveland.
I tell you another good back. C.J. Anderson was a good one.
Yeah, and then when Carolina cut him in the middle of the season, that was stupid.
Yeah. Man, C.J. Anderson he could run and he was fast. Like he'd take the pounding.
Yeah, at that time, Carolina was so hell bent on featuring McCaffrey to where they just weren't going to use anybody else.
And see, McCaffrey got used the right way when he went.
I like McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's an excellent back, but Carolina overused him.
Yeah, they used him way too much. They tried to depend on McCaffrey. Let's do this.
They tried to pound the rock with him. That's not his style.
But that's a college coach mentality. Let's just give this player the ball the whole game.
Yeah, I mean they tried to pound the rock with him, and it's like, and what bothered me is in the red zone and goal-to-goal situations, short yardage situations, they're trying to hand it up and let him pound it up the middle on third and 2, and you want him to pound it up the middle. I'm like, that ain't his game.
Hey, my prayers and thoughts go out to Nebraska University, so that's y'all problem now.
Well, he's a good college coach.
Yeah.
I think he'll do it. I think he'll do a very fine job at University of Nebraska. He's a good college coach.
They in the Big Ten, ain't it?
Yeah, they're in the Big Ten now. They used to be in the Big 8, Big 12.
Yeah. Shout out to
like 10 years now, huh?
Colorado.
I remember Colorado was in the Big 12. They used to be in the Big 8. In Pac-12.
What's your thoughts on? Me. What do you think the season for them is going to be? They'll have a better season than last year.
Colorado?
Yeah.
6 or 7.
I'm not going to say they're going to be contending for anything, but they'll have a
6 and 6, 7 and 5.
Yeah, bowl eligible.
Yeah, I give them bowl eligible.
Yeah,
I'll say 7 and 5.
Do you think in a few years it'll be something? If they can continue, if they can recruit the right people, do you think it'll be?
I don't think he's ever going to win the national championship there, but I think he'll have decent teams.
Think he'll win a conference championship? Possible.
After USC and UCLA leave, maybe.
Yeah, but I say he still got Oregon, Cal.
Well, I ain't worried about Cal, but Oregon, Oregon State got decent now too.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows, man? Because it's according to how you continue to do transfer portal, how you recruit. And the thing about it, I'm not knocking Deion, but you got to realize now, when he was at Jackson State, the players he had were better than everybody else's that they were playing against. Like their opponents they were playing against, you got to realize you had guys like Travis Hunter, who's number one recruit in the country, playing for you. You had other 4-star guys who would have been FBS Power 5 starters on other Power 5 teams playing for you. That means that every time you took the field, the players you had were 10 times better than the players you were playing against. Now, you might have big-time recruits, but everybody you're playing with got big-time recruits.
Yeah. Shout out to I also want to do this shout out because I just realized seeing that this week in I think it was on Monroe's page. Coach Sowell named the Shrine Bowl coach for North Carolina, head coach.
Man, Coach Johnny Sowell, man, is a man I have immense respect for. This man is a winner. Everything he touches wins. He's a winner. Won a state championship in football. Won a state championship in basketball. One thing about Monroe, they've always fluctuated in classifications because of the way they draw them districts out. No matter what classification he's in, he always has a winning season. The year they won a state championship, they went undefeated. They even beat some 4A teams that year because they beat like Weddington that year. When Weddington was good that year, they beat them that year when they went 16-0. One thing about Coach Sowell, he doesn't make excuses because they don't have a lot of depth at Monroe, but they still have good teams. They have a bunch of guys playing both ways, but they still have good teams. They lose starters to graduation and all this stuff. They come right back and have a good team every year. So to me, Johnny Sowell should be the athletic director for the entire Union County. To me, he's the best coach in general in Union County history.
I agree. I can't argue that fact.
When you look at the total body of work, I know that Weddington won a couple championships and won a coach a few years ago. But I'm talking about when you look at total body of work and consistency year in and year out, or what Coach Sowell's done, always has Monroe as a contender, and not only in football but also basketball too. And has won a state champ. The responsibility of being over 2 programs and was able to win a state championship in both.
Yeah,
the greatest overall coach, not just one sport, but the greatest overall coach, or the greatest overall person in Union County. A figure in Union County athletics when it comes to coaching. I think if they ever do a Union County Sports Hall of Fame, he should be inducted. He should have a statue at Monroe High School. And I think Coach Sowell could coach anywhere and be successful. I met him one time. Anson had to play them the week after, and it was during their bye week. Anson was playing Chesterfield, and he came down to Chesterfield to the game, and he and a couple of his assistants actually sat beside me, and I got to chit chat with him a little bit. Seems you could tell he's a good man, easygoing, very approachable, and you could tell that the players in Monroe are in good hands. And Coach Jackson knows him very well too. Coach Jackson considers him as a friend, and Coach Jackson will be one of the first people to tell you that Coach Sowell is a wonderful man and a great leader of young men.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. And like I said, I watched a couple of their games this year. I think I watched the Forest Hills one. I watched when they beat the team that we lost to in the first round.
I watched them when they beat us like a drum.
Yeah, I watched them when they beat us like
a drum. Yeah, you were sitting right beside me.
Yeah, a lot of other people.
Morris Gatewood, Coach Stinson, Coach Jordan, we were all sitting there. I know, don't even do it.
yeah.
I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not going to go there.
I don't know nothing.
Don't do it.
Nope, don't do it. Not tonight.
This is not
that night for that. We on a good vibe tonight. We on a good vibe. But I watched them beat East Surrey, and they came back to win that game actually.
Yeah.
And like I said, that team wasn't bad, but Monroe was just they were special. I mean, they ran into a high power offense up at Burns, but
that's what they lost to.
Yeah, in the what was the regional finals?
Okay.
Yeah, so
after the first round we lost, I kind of quit keeping up with it and decided really.
I think it was like 42-49. It was a high scoring game.
Oh, shootout.
Yeah, it was shootout.
Barn burner.
And shout out to the quarterback. He got I think he got accepted into. I want to say it was either Lenore Ryan.
Lenore Ryan. I saw you talking about.
Got the NIL deal.
Yeah, the guy from Anson County.
Yeah. So shout out to him. I shout out to my Anson County people.
He should have been playing for us, but I got a feeling he wouldn't play quarterback. He'd have been playing for us.
Yeah, he'd been linebacker
or defensive tackle or something that didn't allow him to use his skill the best.
Yeah, but shout out to him, man. He got his NIL deal. I don't know how that works, but
Hey,
I wish him the best.
anything that'll help that kid towards building a better future, I'm happy to see.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
I'm happy. It's no matter what becomes of this young man has an opportunity to get a free education. He has an opportunity to graduate from college and not be in debt. So that's and his football ability it helped him secure that situation, and that's wonderful that he used the game and his talent to help him propel himself. So I have no problem with that, and I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see the young man not only have an opportunity to continue to play the game he loves, but also get an education that he doesn't have to pay for. I think that's wonderful. And whatever happens with his football career is all gravy from there. The key is that he gets that free education, and that's and hopefully that'll be something that'll help him propel in life.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. And I want to get into the topic of the NBA. This frenzy week of trades and whatever you want to call it. This, I guess you want to call it building something in whatever, anywhere. But I'm gonna start with the home team, the Lakers.
Oh,
yeah, not the
Hornets.
Nah,
we're still talking about. As I rep the Hornets, but
not them. But the Lakers. Me, I'm just gonna say this because it's me, and I don't think I would have gave up that 27 pick for that. But I mean, I get it. You're trying to win now, but
Yeah, and you gotta understand the 27th pick in the NBA draft means nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, the 27th pick in the NBA draft is a guy that'll be out the league in 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the year, not the pick, but the year.
Oh, 2027.
Yeah, 2027. I'm saying not the number, the year.
Yeah, the Lakers aren't the typical team that build through the draft anyway, though.
No, they don't. But for the pieces, I get he got rid of dead weight. That's the only way you probably could have got rid of that dead weight. I would have
kept Thomas Bryant, though. I wouldn't have gotten rid of him.
No, I wouldn't have got rid of him.
But I heard that he wanted to be traded, though.
I mean, for the Westbrook thing, I probably would just went ahead and just play the season out, and then
at least now when the Lakers don't make playoffs, they can't blame Westbrook.
No, they can't blame him because he ain't there.
They blame him for everything that went wrong. He's gone now, so I want to know what the excuses are now.
And thank God Pat Bev's gone because I don't even know why.
That's dead. That was dead weight.
That was just dead weight. I don't care how you put it up. That was just dead weight. At least Schroeder came out, had hot spurts at times.
Yeah, Schroeder will give you some offensive production. Like Schroeder will have games where they have 15 or 16 points where they can knock down shots when you need them to. Bev doesn't even knock down shots. I know he's styled as an excellent defender, but he's such an offensive liability. It's like playing 5-on-4.
Yeah, but now here's the plus side of this. I think we may kind of fix that 3-point shooting because we do got 2 shooters there in the top 15 in 3-point shooting in the league this year. So that may kind of fix some of those 3-point deficiencies because we stink. Let's just be modest with it. We stink at shooting 3.
Man, I think as long as until LeBron James retired, that franchise is not going to be able to propel back to where it was. And I'm not an anti-LeBron guy. I think LeBron James is obviously the first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats. Yeah. And I meant one of the all-time greats, and the greatest small forward to ever play the game. And now the NBA's all-time leading scorer, which is the honor that he earned on the floor. So I take nothing away from him.
Yeah, can't take that away.
But at this point, he's no longer able to elevate the team like he used to in his heyday. First of all, in his heyday, he used to be able to elevate the team because he was such an elite defender. He can't defend anymore because he doesn't have lateral quickness anymore. Yeah, he can score, but he can't defend like he used to, and he's unable. And most of the time, when he would put the team on his shoulders and elevate the team, it would be through his defensive effort, where he would be the anchor of defensively. Now that component's not there. He's not able to uplift the team like he once would have been able to, like when he was in his heyday. And at his age, it's not even fair to even expect him to do that. And it seems like now his individual accolades sometimes seem to be taking precedent taking priority rather over the outcome of the game. Just like the guys have lost 3 in a row, maybe like 4 out of 5. Even in the game when they broke the record, that Oklahoma City game was a game you needed to win. That's the team you were jockeying with for a position. Yeah. And even at the time the record was broken, trailing in the game, went on to lose the game. He only scored 2 points in the fourth quarter.
That was it.
That's the game that you needed to win. And then last night, played Milwaukee Bucks, and he didn't even play. And there was no known injury. They were like sore calf. I don't think there was anything wrong with them. It wasn't a back-to-back because it was a night between.
They had a night between that.
Yeah, so it wasn't, and they weren't on the road, so they didn't have to travel. So it wasn't like any travel involved. So I'm not understanding why all of a sudden he had a sore calf. And it seems like you're playing against an elite championship contending team in Milwaukee. Great player, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then all of a sudden you just didn't want to play. And it seems like that's a trend now sometimes. When they have an elite team coming to town, it's like that'll be suddenly the day that he has a sore calf and want to take some rest. And you're jockeying for position and can't afford just to be throwing games away. That makes me wonder: is he really even concerned with trying to propel this team to get into the playoffs and making a run, or is it right now just like continue just to get his individual accolades? And I understand the accolade of becoming an all-time leading scorer is an important accolade. I'm not taking away from that. And what I'll say is, even what bothered me the most, even with the whole celebration during the game, the team was down and the guys were jumping up down like they just won the NBA championship. And then went on to lose the game, and it seemed like it was more of a celebratory mood, even though you just lost, just fell 5 games below 500 after that game, or 6 games below 500, whatever it is, and not taken away from his accomplishment. But I'm like, are they trying to win, or are they just trying to just serenade him?
Well, at this point, I think in his eye that the cards that you got, the cards that you have now, he knows that's not going to be able to.
He handpicked his roster.
Huh?
He handpicked that roster.
He did.
They brought in everybody he wanted. Ever since he's been there, they've had a different nucleus every year because they handpick who he wants. He gives whatever older veteran that he wants on the team. Even with the Westbrook thing, he asked for Westbrook. That was who he wanted.
That's what he wanted. But I mean, I get that. That's what he wanted. But
yeah, aside from Anthony Davis, they don't have anybody else from that championship team that's even on the team right now. And that was just 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah, we don't have Caruso. We don't have KCP. We don't have.
And KCP is playing very well in Denver right now.
Yep. We don't have
Rondo. You don't have anybody from that championship team.
Nobody. Shoot. I'd say JaVale McGee. He played.
Yeah, and that was just 3 years ago. You mean tell me you won a championship and 3 years later you don't have anybody from that roster from the championship team? And that's all. His handpicked the roster turnover is all based on what he's wanted because they're trying to appease him, which happens when you have a star player like that. So it's what I don't like is when he throw guys under the bus or when he act like it's everyone else's fault when they don't win, or when he says, "Well, we don't have this, or we don't have shooting, or we don't have enough shooters. We're not a team that's built for this." But the way the team is constructed is based on who he handpicked. So you basically handpick the guys, and then when it doesn't work, then you want to blame management for who they put around you when all they did was put around who you asked for.
Well, I mean, that's been a recurring thing.
Like, no matter how great he is skillfully, I've always questioned his competitive spirit.
And the only place I don't think it was that I can't say that it was in Miami because of.
Well, in Miami, he had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, all 3 of them in their prime. You got 3 superstars in their prime. They should have won those 2 championships they won. If they wouldn't have won those 2 championships, something would have been wrong. They got to the finals 4 times. They still lost in the finals twice.
Yep.
Both times when they had no business, especially when they lost to Dallas in the first one.
Yeah.
When he got outplayed by Jason Terry.
Yes. But me personally,
and I know Sean Will and Freddie Dean don't like to hear this, but and by the way, and I love those brothers. They're good guys. So and don't take it personal, fellas. I know how much they love LeBron, and I tell them that LeBron is a great player.
Yeah,
I take nothing away from him, but his competitive spirit is not where Michael Jordan's competitive spirit was. If you want to debate who's more talented, all that going right ahead, that's fine. But the immeasurable things, that competitive spirit, I done seen too many times where he's let his team down competitively.
if I say this, he's a great athlete. If you want to say he's more athletic than Jordan, sure, yeah, absolutely.
He is more athletic than Jordan.
He's more athletic,
That's
but,
debatable.
But when it comes down to clutch time, Jordan is the GOAT. There's no question about that. When you need him to get you that basket, Jordan will come through.
Well, because Jordan embraced the pressure situations. He embraced the lofty expectations. He had that killer instinct too. And by the way, I'm definitely not a Michael Jordan guy. I think he's done a horrible job with Charlotte Hornets management. So I'm not here to sing his praises. But at the same time, as far as a player, I still have to give credit when it's due.
Mm-hmm.
His competitive spirit in Chicago is what willed him to those 6 championships.
Yeah,
because he basically won 6 championships with Scottie Pippen and a bunch of role players.
That's it.
I'm gonna repeat that: Scottie Pippen and a bunch of role players.
Yep. Yes, Dennis Rodman was a role player.
Yeah, I think, and Dennis Rodman benefits from revisionist history, but during the time he played, he was considered a role player.
Yeah, yeah. But
he was an excellent rebounder, but I mean, like Dikembe Mutombo was an excellent rebounder. So I mean, but he was a role player. He was only part of 3 of them. I'm about to say they won 3 before he ever got there. Horace Grant started power forward in the first 3.
The next thing, me personally, I don't think it's gonna work in Phoenix, but I get it. You want to get out again. While the getting was good.
Just the best chance they got.
This is.
I feel like this year the championship is anybody's game. So I think it's a coin. There's no favorite to win championship. Everybody who's in the playoff hunt has a chance, for the most part. I mean, I know that someone like Portland doesn't have a chance, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, the people that's in the top, at least top 4, you have a chance.
I'll say top 6. Even a team like Golden State, even though they're down right now, if they get it together, because like the Houston Rockets, they were a 47-win team in the 6th seed. I keep saying I hope the Golden State don't pull a 1995 Houston Rockets on us. I don't think they will. But my point is, everybody's record is jumbled up together. Yeah. A 5-game winning streak could take you from like 7th to 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd or 2nd at best.
Here's an example: the Memphis Grizzlies have lost 7 of their 9 games. The Memphis Grizzlies have lost 8 of their last 10 games, and they're still 2nd in the West in spite of that, and they haven't dropped their position. That lets you know how everybody's jumbled up together.
Yeah, so somebody get hot at the right time, and that between 6.
The Sacramento Kings have the same amount of losses, I think, as the Memphis Grizzlies. Their 3rd seed. They're 29-21 or something like that. So the point I'm making, everybody's around that. Then you got teams with like 24 losses, 27 losses. Even in the East, everybody's kind of jumbled together. So, I mean, anybody can win the championship this year. And so if Phoenix can get healthy, if Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are healthy, and then if Chris Paul can hobble along enough to make a shot here and there and make some. Now, if they're healthy, all Chris Paul got to do is be a facilitator and playmaker.
That's all he ain't got to be a scorer. He can feed Aiden. He can kick it out to Booker. Booker can kick it out.
All he got to do is beat Mark Jackson. I'm talking about Mark Jackson played. And knock down occasional shots. If you got Durant there and Booker, they can handle the heavy lifting and scoring. And run pick and roll with my man Ayton, get him buckets down low.
Yeah,
they will have. I mean, they still got enough people. They still got like Dario Saric and people like that coming off the bench. They should be able to compete for a championship. Will it happen? I don't know, because Kevin Durant doesn't have a competitive spirit either.
No, he doesn't. That's what I was getting into.
And Devin Booker is not a franchise player. So I mean, if anyone could choke, Kevin Durant's your guy to choke.
That's true.
Kevin Durant won 2 championships with the Golden State Warriors, which are already the championship team before he got there. They already won 73 games a year before he got there. They've gone on to win the championship since he left there. So they've won 2 championships without him. One before he got there and one after he left. So he needed them, not the other way around.
There you go. That works even better. I was about to say that they didn't need him, just like
he needed him.
He didn't need it, but
he went to Brooklyn. I know he was playing with a nutcase in Brooklyn.
Hey, we're gonna get to that nutcase in just a moment.
All right, my bad.
You go ahead.
Go ahead. Segue me into
it. Let's bring in the nutcase. In Dallas, as you know, Kyrie is also traded from Brooklyn. They left one nut in Brooklyn. I don't know if he's even playing or not.
Oh, Ben Simmons, yeah, but Ben Simmons not even a factor.
Yeah, so.
He might get balled out or something. I don't know.
It's post Steph Curry, but anyway, It's his team now. But anyway, a lot of people saying this may work. But me personally, I think you had a better chance when you had I'm not taking it away from Kyrie because Kyrie's a great player when he plays.
When he plays, yeah.
When he plays, but when you had Brunson in Dallas, I think you could have made Brunson into something. You kind of gave up on him too early, in my opinion.
And then he's doing well with the Knicks now. His dad played for the Knicks too, Rick Brunson. But yeah, I think Kyrie and Doncic, as far as scoring wise, they'll be able to score with anybody. They didn't get any better defensively, but as far as offensive firepower, they'll have the offensive firepower to score with anybody.
Yeah.
I hope that Doncic and Irving get along because Doncic can be a piece of work too.
Yeah,
that's how Rick Carlisle got gone because they said he would disrespect Rick Carlisle in practice, and they had issues. Kristaps Porzingis and Doncic didn't get along either. That's why Kristaps Porzingis ended up out of Dallas and traded to Washington. So I mean, Doncic kind of has the reputation of a guy that can be difficult to work with. So, and we know that Irving is already a guy. You have to watch the news to make sure that if something happened in Afghanistan, Irving might just say he's not coming to work.
Might not have no sage tonight.
I'm like, so. But I mean, right now I feel like he'll be there because he want to prove a point. So I mean, they'll be a playoff team. They'll probably win a series or so, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the water may not be room temperature.
But his contract's expiring anyway, so he'll be a free agent during off season. I don't think he's going to sign back with Dallas. So.
No. I don't know what the landing destination.
I think he's going to sign with the Clippers and call himself trying to play with Leonard and George, and then they'll be favored to win the championship, and they'll find a way to choke.
I feel like after this year, that doesn't work. Just break it up. It's just me. If that doesn't work this year, just break
I mean, they've been in and out. Both of them been in and out injured, George and Leonard. So yeah. I don't know where that's. I don't think they're going to championship this year. I mean, unless they just get hot and make a run and surprise everybody.
I don't see that. Not a big run, like 3 or 4 games at most. They get on a little streak like that, but I'm not seeing them 8, 9, or 10 win 10 games.
I don't either. I'm just saying that it's just that there's such a wide open nature right now to where all it takes is a winning streak to improve your position, and if you can improve your position, you got a chance to make a postseason run and see if you compete for a championship.
So did they get rid of John Wall?
Yeah, but so.
No, I'm just asking. I don't care. I'm just saying that.
They traded him. He got traded to Houston. Yeah, I know.
He went back, and then they
waived
him.
I don't know if they're going to buy him out or what, but he got traded to Houston.
I think they waived him.
Okay, so now he's on the couch.
Pretty much. I mean, how many games did he play this year?
Somebody will sign him. Somebody like Phoenix will sign him to come off the bench.
I wouldn't be surprised we signed him.
Like, they ain't gonna sign John Wall.
If LeBron wants it, they'll do it.
I don't think LeBron wants John Wall.
I don't know. He wanted Kawhi bad, and I knew that.
I'm sure he did. He always wanted as many superstars with him as he can get.
That's the thing, man. You gotta win.
He's not a competitor. He doesn't have the competitive spirit.
I look at Giannis's 1 championship more valuable than LeBron's 4. Is that a fair argument?
A very much fair argument. You got to realize Giannis Antetokounmpo kept coming up short in the playoffs over and over again, and people thought that he wasn't going to sign back. He was going to go to a bigger market. He ended up staying, signed an extension. They traded and bring in a solid Jrue Holiday, stuck with Middleton, and then they ended up winning the championship.
Yeah.
And I'm talking where he was clearly the guy. They didn't go out doing a whole bunch of recruiting, trying to bring a bunch of stars. He didn't leave and try to form a super team with anybody. He stayed there and led.
And it worked.
And he led his team to a championship.
Yeah, and beat a Brooklyn team that everybody thought was going to win.
Won a game 7 on the road in Brooklyn, scored 40 points in that game.
Yeah, and Durant scored 50, and they still came up short.
Yep, that was impressive.
Yeah,
so a lot of pressure that year because their coach was on the hot seat and all that. Because there was rumor that if they lost the series to Brooklyn, the coach was going to be fired. And You know, then they had the MCL scare against Atlanta, and then he came back in the finals and the game clinching and the series clinching the victory, scored 50 points, and they needed all 50. They needed all 50 of those points though.
And like I said, I think that saved him for the long. That saved him for as long as they needed him. So I don't think they'll get rid of him if they decided to. That he can.
No,
he did something that they didn't think was going to happen. So his job is safe. But
when people talk about you can't keep a superstar in a small market or whatever. Milwaukee won a championship 2 years ago. Go kick rocks. People forget Tim Duncan played in San Antonio for 20 years. I mean, 18 years and won 5 championships. And San Antonio is a small market, so I don't want to hear it.
Yep, and he didn't have the same cast the first 2, but the last 3, I think he had the same.
You talk about, and if you want to talk superstar in a small market, I know they didn't win the championship. They got their back-to-back years. Karl Malone stayed in Utah 18 years before his last year with the Lakers. So this whole thing that you got to be a certain market size to be able to retain great players. No, you just need to show. You need to build a program that shows it's committed to winning and be willing to shell out the money. But don't get me wrong, the guys who play now are cut from a different cloth than the guys who played yesteryear. The guys now don't have a competitive spirit, and I think a lot of that is because of the AAU. A lot of these guys were already friends and buddies before they ever came in the league, so it's like that buddy thing, and it kind of takes away from the competitive spirit. So, and now they're more centered around their branding than they are necessarily winning ball games. So I don't think a lot of these guys have competitive spirit. It's more like I'm just out there having fun with my friends.
Yeah, I agree with it because, and we debate this all the time, and I tell them the same argument. They be like, well, these players back then can't keep up with the players. It's like, no, they can. Yeah, y'all looking at it from an athletic point of view. You don't win all the time with athletics. You gotta have
what and furthermore, I don't even buy that argument. Anthony Spudwebb, 5'7", and could jump out the gym.
Thank you. And
5'7" and won a slam dunk contest in 1986. I don't want to hear it.
There you go.
George Gervin could glide in there. Dr. J could fly out the gym. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan himself drafted in 1984 could fly out the gym. I don't want to hear it.
You can't sit here and say that today's players would beat yesteryear's. It's impossible. You sound foolish.
Yesterday's players are more physical too, because the rules are different. Now it's just guys are soft. They just stand around and shoot threes all the time, and you can't touch anybody. So
yeah,
I hate when people try to compare eras, but when they say but most of the people that said about the guys from the 90s, 80s that can play today, most of them are people who they're very young. Who it's like those people that try to say that Shaq didn't have any skill, that he was just big. I'm like, did you ever watch him play? I'm like, when someone said that, I'm like, shut the hell up.
Shaq could take the ball coast to coast.
I know. Do you never? I've seen Shaq run the break, especially on All-Star games and stuff. So when someone says Shaq had limited skill, what are you talking about? Shaq's one of the greatest post players of all time and had an array of post moves and had excellent footwork and had excellent handle. That'll let you know those people didn't watch the games. They're just making assumptions.
You're making assumptions. Let me tell you something. But I'm gonna say this, and they can say what they want. At the time Jordan left the league, Shaq was the best player in the NBA after Jordan left. That was no case about it.
He was the most dominant player. He won 3 championships in a row right after that.
MVP, regular season MVP, 3-time Finals MVP.
Yep.
Three-peat champion. 3-peat. Hold him up. LeBron can hold it up in a cup on his best day. Not taking nothing away. He's a good player.
He's won back-to-back championships. Only time he won back-to-back championships was in Miami. And with the squad they had, should have won all 4.
Yeah, should have.
Yeah, they won back-to-back championships.
4 in a row.
Yeah, but they won back-to-back in 2012. I mean, 2012 and 2013.
Yeah, but the Lakers, that first part of the 2000, that was minus the Detroit, in which I still wish they would have got that back. But that should have been four in a row. That was 4 in a row. And I don't care how you put it.
Well, it would have been 4 in 5 years because they lost to Spurs in the second round in
03. Yeah. But they would have had 4 titles in 5 years, and that.
Yeah, I mean that happened. It is what it is. But and then Kobe and Gasol won back-to-back championships in 09 and 2010.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I tell people that all the time. They're like, well, you can't put Shaq. I'm like, dude. Y'all say Jordan, y'all compare Jordan and Kobe, but you're leaving Shaq. Shaq was the best player in the league.
Man, if Shaq played today, he would average 40 points a game.
Shit, probably 60.
There wouldn't be a soul who can guard him.
Nobody.
The only way you can neutralize him, you try to take him out on the perimeter and try to shoot threes or whatever. You can just do switches there. You could switch a 4 out on the guy.
Shaq in his heyday was dominant. I mean, that's his point blank period. Average 30 as a center.
I think because to me, I think the way the game is now, the rules help inflate numbers and make lesser guys who ordinarily wouldn't have been good yesteryear are better now. Like, for example, guys who are considered star players now probably wouldn't have been stars back then, and guys who are role players, like I got, for example, Tony Kukoc would have been a superstar in today's game.
Yep, I agree.
Because the game is catered for a guy like Kukoc to be successful, the way the rules are and everything. A guy like Tony Kukoc would be a perennial all-star in today's game.
Glenn Rice.
A guy like Rick Smits would have been Mehmet Okur. Guys like that, they would have been star players in today's game.
Yep, I agree with it.
Because the way the rules are set up, a guy like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf would be a league MVP in today's game.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I got to watch that story on him. I think was it him or which one was it? That's the one that played with the Nuggets, right?
Yeah, he was Kaepernick before there was a Kaepernick.
Kaepernick, yeah. it's a documentary. I got to look at it. I want to watch it.
He was still playing like a big three a couple years ago, man. That dude is in incredible shape, man.
Yeah. And I think
for those of you who don't know who Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf is, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, look up Chris Jackson, former LSU great. That's the same person.
Mm-hmm. Chris Jackson. I'm about to say that's who he's looking for. And let me tell you something. Don't do it no justice. He was a bad man.
Yeah, it's just the way the game was played at that time. Yeah. He was still a good player, but if he would have played in today's rules, he would have been a great player. To me, the guys that played in yesteryear would even be better if they played now.
They'll be league MVPs. John
Starks would have been a perennial all-star in today's game. Glenn Rice was a league MVP in today's
game. What's my man name that played in the twins that played in Indiana? The brothers. They weren't twins, but I think the Davises. I think they were Davis. They played with Reggie. It was Reggie, Rick Smits, Mark Jackson, and what was that? Dale Davis.
Dale Davis played in Indiana.
Yeah, Dale Davis. That's what I'm thinking about.
Dale Davis was like one of those hard-nosed Charles Oakley kind of guys.
Yeah, Charles. I love Charles Oakley.
You want guys to slam. Man, if you play like Charles Oakley now, you'd be banned from the league.
You play like any of them big men or forwards.
Like yeah, Tyrone Hill, Charles Oakley. Man, they had some enforcers back then. Rick
McDaniels.
Mahorn, guys like Rick Mahorn, Xavier McDaniel, guys like
Rick
Mahorn. You get out of the league if you play like that.
Rick Mahorn been banned from the league. He wouldn't be able to come to a game.
Man, that joke used to be clothesline of Michael Jordan when he'd be coming to the hole. Rick Mahorn and Bill Laimbeer and them were clothesline that joke.
And yes, people, that was a common foul. That was not a technical. That was a common foul.
On that.
That was a common foul.
Now if you touch somebody, now if you touch somebody, flagrant 2 ejection and a suspension.
Get out.
That's cool.
But you gotta think, man. Like, if you look at it today's game, honestly, you on the court. If you look at it from 5 players, you have a 1, a 2, 2 threes at possibility, and a 4. You don't have a true 5 anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you got guys listed at center, but they're not truly playing the center role. I agree.
They're technically considered power forward, like college. Like they don't have a
center. Yeah, it's basically like you're starting 3 forwards.
Yep, exactly. So you don't have a true 5. There hasn't been a true 5 in a while.
Nikola Jokic is a true 5. Joel Embiid is a true 5.
Okay, well, yeah, those 2. But
those are your 2 best 5s in the game, by far.
By far, yeah, by far.
Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid are the 2 best centers in the game, bar none. And there's nobody else even close.
No, not at all. I mean, if you put apples to oranges 10 years ago, everybody in the league had a center was needed.
They had a center, but they didn't have a dominant center. But prior to the Jokic and Embiid, Shaq was the last dominant center you had.
Yep.
And I'm not counting DeMarcus Cousins. They need to put up numbers on bad teams. I mean, he was a true 5, but I'm not counting. But I'm not counting him as a dominant player. He was winning 30 games every year and averaging 28 points a game on bad teams. I'm not counting him.
I'm not counting. Nah, but yeah, that prior to them 2. Yeah, Shaq was the last true 5
That was dominant. That was a perennial star player that you could build a franchise around. And then Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic came along.
Yep. And
Vucevic ain't bad. They used to play Orlando. He's not bad.
Yeah. I only consider Giannis a 5, but
Giannis don't play 5. Giannis kind of a tweener between. I guess he's a 4.
4 and a 3.
Yeah, but he plays with the force and ferocity of a 4, but he has the skill and the handle like of a 3. So he's kind of a tweener, but he's 6'11". So and he still plays a lot with his back to the basket sometimes. So I'll call him a 4, but he's a really athletic 4.
4, yeah. But as far as the true 5, those are the only 2 that I could.
Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. That's it. And neither one of them are American. We don't have any true American 5s. That lets you, because the focus in the U.S. don't focus on the 5 playing the position in the purest form and focusing on things the 5 work on. Here's how the 5s work now in the United States. They're either soft and they're running around shooting threes, or they just run the floor and rebound, but they can't score.
And
so it's either you got you either got a guy that's standing out there in the perimeter shooting threes all the time, or you got a guy like Mo Bamba who can rebound a little bit but he can't score.
Yeah.
Or a guy like Bismack Biyombo, or guys like Bismack Biyombo. Shout
out to Biyombo, man.
Yeah. Michael Jordan loved that. He loved that boy. I don't know why. He'd have had him twice.
He must have been beating him in money or something. Anyway, let's get into this. Is one of those topics that I don't know how you would put it, but I don't agree with what was said, but I get it. He's a liberal appeaser, and you already know who I'm talking about.
Adam Silver?
No, the Goodell.
Oh, Goodell's a conservative appeaser. Adam Silver's a liberal appeaser. Goodell is the conservative appeaser. And I don't like either one of them. But go ahead.
But there was he does his I don't know what you want to call it, symposium at the end of the year, talking about the leagues, and he is stating that he is sticking with the refs, that they're making good calls. I don't agree with that.
What do you expect him to say, Nick?
That's what I said. He's a liberal a conservative appeaser. But he knows those refs don't make good calls.
No, and not at all. But what do you think he's gonna say?
Well, I can give you an example of one, and you already know what I'm talking about. AFC Championship game.
Yeah, you told me about it. You talking about what at the end of the game?
The third down call.
Which one was that? What point in the game was that?
So you remember they had something going on with the clock. I think the referee did something. He said on the sound of the whistle, we're gonna run the play. He's gonna start the clock. Boom. They ran the play. Went to fourth down. The punt team's coming out, and then the referee.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. They blew the whistle.
Yeah.
Clock started running. They ran the play, and then they replayed third down.
Yeah, they were saying the play didn't happen. He got sacked, but then they said the play didn't happen. That was tough there. I saw that.
Yeah, but in other circumstances, when something happens, they can't go back and replay a play.
Yeah, well, I agree with what they're trying to say is that they blew the whistle and it never happened. I don't know about that, but that's what they said.
All work, no play. What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, it was good. It was good.
Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, that's the only. Now, from my eyes, I can't say what else I've seen, but that I seen with my own eyes live, and I'm like, dude,
man, you see bad calls every game, man. That's gonna always happen.
Now the hit on Patrick Mahomes, that was a penalty. I can't argue that. That man was out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Yeah.
So that was what it was. But that third down play, that was a play that was.
And I agree with everything you said. Here's the thing, man. Even in spite of all that, on any of those plays, Kansas City still didn't score on any of those, and the Bengals got the ball back and still a couple of times had chances to go ahead late in that game and couldn't do it. Ended up having to punt the ball away, and then even in the last minute having to punt it again, which led to that big return, which led to the play where Mahomes got hit out of bounds and all that. The Bengals still had ample opportunities to go ahead and win that game. In spite of, even after the calls, they got stops every time. Even when Kansas City got a good call, the Bengals still stopped them and got the ball back and didn't do anything when they got the ball.
Well, I'm not gonna say that would have changed the outcome of the game, but the fact that
I
the
know
call,
it's a principle thing. Still, the call. I mean, still you want to get the call right, but I'm saying, but at the end of the day, the Bengals still had plenty of opportunities to win that game.
Yeah. But my thing is that call. When even if you run, let's just say for the sake of argument, they went nowhere near winning, and you make that call.
Yeah, and you still got to get it right.
You got to get it right. You got to get it right, regardless. Like that, you can't just run a play, go to fourth down, like, oh wait a minute, let's go back third down.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Now I'm not gonna that hit out of bounds. That was a hit out of bounds. They know that we're gonna call that. That's a quarterback. They're gonna call it out. So that was gonna happen. You should just let them run. You would have to kick a 60-yard field goal instead of a 40. Might have been 40 something.
Yeah, like a 48-yard or something like that, right?
You could have had a fighting chance. At least you got to make him kick that 60. You could have forced the overtime, or you might have made it. Who knows?
Who knows? I mean, it's still just it's the principle of the thing.
Yeah. So, but that the comment he made about the officiating, he has no problems with that. I totally disagree with the commissioner.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you think he's gonna say? That you think he's gonna say, "Oh, they suck"?
I would say that.
You're not gonna say that as the commissioner.
I mean, I wouldn't say it sucked, but I'd have been like, the officiating in this league is not up to standard. I think my officials that are employed in this business should do some serious studying. Or
good and well that he won't gonna say that.
I know he won't gonna say that, but what I'm like, if I was a commissioner and I'm saying, hey, look, the officiating is not up to par. There have been a lot of bad calls in the league, and that's evident. And we need to fix this, address this, and fix it. If I was commissioner, now I know he's not gonna say because I don't appease anybody. So yes, that's what I'm saying. Like I would address that issue. Like it's an evident issue. It's been an evident issue for the last maybe 2-3 years.
Yeah, been longer than that, but yeah, I got it.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think the remedy they want is to make the officials full-time officials instead of part-time employees. And they're thinking that if they do that, that may change. That may help with the quality of officiating. That way, you can allocate all your resources to make sure you have good officials.
Yeah, that's true. Now maybe that's what they own, but aren't they under this what they call the players union or nah?
I don't know because officials are not full-time employees. So just like Ed Hockley was a lawyer, like he had Jerome. Yeah, Ed Hockley owns a law firm. He's a lawyer when he's not he's retired from officiating now, but he's a lawyer. Jerome Boger works for Allstate. I looked that up. Jerome Boger, the black guy.
Yeah.
So like a pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down. Please reset the clock to that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
He works for Allstate.
337.
Yeah, that guy, Jerome Boger. Yeah, he works for Allstate.
First down.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, maybe they need the officials need to come together, or whoever's over officiating, come together and see if they can get full-time officials.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't get paid bad a game.
No, I don't think they get paid bad at all for them to be doing it. I mean,
you don't get paid?
I said I'm sure they don't get paid bad at all.
They get paid. I'm pretty sure they make a couple thousand a game.
I think they'll make a little more than that. I think they make enough to where you can live off of. Like I think they make enough to where if that's all you did, you'll still be straight.
Now
I'm not saying that you have a mansion over in Beverly Hills. I'm talking about but you can do that and still be straight.
You can have a normal house, work one day out the week, and still pay everything and have something to kind of
right. Like you can still go on vacation and do things you enjoy, drive a decent car, have and pay you still and not be like, oh my God, I can't give you money until I get paid. But you can still live comfortable. What I'm saying.
So I feel like this. Let's for the sake of argument, let's just take out officials. Senior officials should have some sort of, like let's just say a contract.
I got you.
Like just the senior officials.
Well, the officials get evaluated on their performances. So, like when an official performs poorly or misses a bunch of calls, whatever, they do an evaluation. If they do poorly, score poorly on their evaluation, that's what determines whether they get like playoff games and how you get to officiate the Super Bowl. So, for example, the officials who officiate the Super Bowls are the ones who had the highest scores on their evaluation throughout the year.
Okay, so it's kind of
so
like
if you do really poorly, you get lower level games. Like for example, if you're not going to be, let's say if it's during the regular season, if you did poorly your last game, you're not going to get that Sunday night game where two division winners are playing against each other for the number one seed. You're not going to get that game. You're going to get the game between the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals at 4:15.
Okay, I get
you. Yeah,
that's how it's like a merit system.
Yeah, same thing with the NBA. And what they do with the NBA playoffs, they don't give you the whole crew. What they do, they just get the best officials who score the highest and put them all on a team like an all-star team of officials, and just merge different guys from different crews together who had the highest scores to do the playoff series.
Yeah, it's a merit system. They go by the quality of work.
Yeah, exactly. So there's still a level of accountability there. It's just not maybe in the way that we personally prefer it to be, but there is a system of accountability in place for officials.
Right. I get you now. I get you. But yeah, that's now I see. Yeah, that works. I guess that works. But
yeah, now I mean we can make the argument that there should be more accountability here, but I don't. But I want to make it clear that there is a system of accountability.
Okay. Well, that's how I was making sure. Like, that's what I was the issue that I was putting. Like, is there somebody held accountable for their actions? Like, how does that go about? But
yeah, I feel
that is broken down. I didn't know how that worked. Like, I never knew anything like how.
Yeah. So supposedly the guys who will be officiating the Super Bowl Sunday are supposed to be the best of the best officials. Supposedly.
We've seen worse.
Yeah, and we've seen bad officiating in the Super Bowl before too. But still,
yeah.
We'll see what they call a ref in the past when someone hit Jalen Hurts late. We know they'll call it if you hit Mahomes. I don't know what they call it if you hit Jalen Hurts.
That's a running back.
And because Philadelphia got some pass rushers who will get after a quarterback.
Oh yeah, they got to be kind of careful. Like I heard, now I seen something else. There was another article that I seen that they were getting rid of I think it was.
That hip tackle thing. That's proposed, but I don't. There's no way if they do that. I mean, hell, just put a flag on him like you did Pro Bowl.
Thank you. I was getting ready. That's exactly what I was about to say. You might as well give him a flag because that's a clean form of tackling. Can't help how he went.
Yeah, down. Like what else do they want you to do? I mean, just outlaw tackling if you're going that far.
they know
you already can't set the quarterback and land on top of him. You have to land on the side of him. So I'm like, what more do you? I mean, it's a violent game. People are going to get injured. That's just going to happen.
Do you remember the hit? I think it was Grady Jarrett that made on Tom Brady.
On Tom Brady.
When Grady Jarrett grabbed Tom and he landed.
Grabbed him by the waist. I saw it happen. I saw that game live.
Yeah. Like, how? That's a bad call.
Man, I would have flipped. That cost him the game, too.
Yeah. Like, that was a bad call. Like, he didn't. It's not like he slung him.
Yeah, he didn't land on top of him nothing. He grabbed him by the waist and brought him down. I'm like,
and
that's a clean. I like if you go too low, it's a penalty. If you go too high, it's a penalty. He grabbed him by the waist and pulled him down. What? That same Jerome Boger, the one that made the call, but Jerome Boger always go above and beyond to protect white quarterbacks. Jerome Boger's always been like that. And then he would let Cam Newton stuff get hit late and will call nothing.
Mm-hmm. So did. And especially when they play Seattle.
Jerome Boger called the same thing when someone did the same thing to Josh Allen the week before. They grabbed him by the waist and brought him down. He called the same thing. That's what Jerome Boger does.
But my thing is, and my thing, what's up, Pale? And my thing is, if you didn't sling him, his weight was on top of Jared. Like he held him and then just rolled him over.
And well, you're not allowed to. Well, first of all, you're not allowed to touch Tom Brady. That's a penalty by itself.
That's a penalty by itself. But I mean,
I feel sarcastic, but you get my point.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but. I mean, it's a clean form of tackling. How do you supposed to say?
Yeah, it's like I said, the Pro Bowl they had flags.
How do you get sacks now? Like, who's a sack leader? You can't really sack the quarterback. What do you want me to do?
I don't know what to tell you.
Touch him? That's all we can do now. But I'll give him
put a flag on the quarterback at least.
You might as well now. Then they go start take the hip tackling. Oh, you can't tackle like that. You'll break somebody's ankle. Well, this is a contact sport. Things are going to break, pull, or be strained. So you have to expect that. That's the part of the job that's what you expect. Your job duties, like your job, what you do. You know what you have to do.
There are expectations in my job, just like there are to us.
Yeah. But that same concept at their job, that you're going to get injured. That's part of the game.
Yeah, that happens. It comes with the territory.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. It's just like if you're in the military, you know there's a chance you might get shot or you could be harmed. You know there's a chance that if you're deployed and you're going to an area of combat, you know there's a chance something can happen to you, or you can get injured really badly.
But once
you can get mortally injured or critically injured.
But once you sign your name on the dotted line, you know the terms and agreements of.
It's just like this. If you drive NASCAR, you know there's a chance you can wreck that car and live or die, be paralyzed or whatever. You know there's a chance that can happen.
Yeah, that's the part of the game. That's expected.
That's the risk that you sign up for with the job. That's the risk associated. You know when you work like in insulation and stuff, you know that you can get asbestos in your lungs. That's a part of the job that's a risk that you signed up for that you knew comes with the job, but you did. Or when you work in the coal mine, it's good money, but you know that all that tar and stuff you get in your lungs.
Yep, that's what they call risk and reward.
Yep, and risk assessment too.
Get risk assessment, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it's called. But I don't know what else you can do at this point. Like you said, put a flag on them, let them play.
It's like this. When we get in our cars, we know that there's a chance to we can get hit.
Yeah, that's part of driving.
Yeah.
You could get in an accident, something can happen.
And like when you see the newspaper, see the news, and someone got hit, you can't be like, "Well, I'm gonna stop driving because I saw that somebody got hit on 77."
No, I gotta go to work.
Yeah. Exactly. They ain't trying to hit it.
I can't help that Linda got hit over there on 77.
I see some breaking news about Dom Capers. Let me make sure he good. I saw something about Dom Capers. Former head coach Dom Capers will rejoin Panthers.
Defensive coordinator?
As a senior defensive consultant.
Oh, okay.
Really? First ever head coach of Panthers history, Dom Capers, joining as a senior defensive consultant.
Had great players on defense.
Hey, let's make Kerry Collins the quarterback coach. Let's
man. Let's go to the bar, y'all.
Yeah, maybe go do that. Let's
drunk quarterbacks.
Let's make Bianca Patuka the running backs coach.
Hey, I like Bianca Patuka. Shout out to Bianca Patuka.
Yeah, that's a random shout out of Bianca. Nowhere in the world is anybody else calling Bianca Patuka's name right now but us.
Yeah, well, I would call another name, but he's no longer with us, so I can't call that name.
Red Lane?
Yeah, that's kind of back. You might well make Jonathan Stewart the coach. Well,
there's a wide receiver. There's a wide receiver that went away for a while. He's back amongst society. Maybe he could be the wide receivers coach.
I think he couldn't hear in Boulder right now.
Oh, he in Boulder for real? We know that.
I don't think he's in Boulder, but he's out west. I think he's in California.
He plays college ball at Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking about the same guy, that's where he plays college ball at.
Yeah.
He played with Cordell Stewart in Colorado.
Cordell, I think he played Robert Salon.
Michael Westbrook and all that. Yeah, they won a national title in Colorado.
89 or 90?
1990.
Yeah. Was it AP or they won it was AP?
They won the AP and Georgia Tech won the coaches poll.
Okay.
Georgia Tech were both acknowledged as national champions in 1990. Yes, kids, Georgia Tech actually won a national championship in football.
Georgia Tech was actually good in the 90s. I don't know a lot of people realize.
Yeah, but you got to realize a lot of generation of people who watching games now, the kids, people, let's say someone in their 20s or whatever. Now, a lot of these people aren't students of the game or not abreast with the history of the game. So
yeah,
they think that Alabama's the only thing that's ever done anything. They don't. You got a lot of kids don't know that Miami was a powerhouse.
You're right. Man, Miami was a powerhouse for 3 decades at one point.
They don't know that Tennessee Volunteers were a powerhouse. They don't know that Nebraska Cornhuskers were a powerhouse.
I bet they didn't know that Peyton Manning didn't win the national championship at Tennessee.
T. Martin did. Yeah, T. Martin did. Yeah,
and beat a good Florida State team at that.
Yep. So you got a lot of
a good coach.
Yep, you got a lot of people don't even realize that people like Miami and them used to play in the Big East.
Yep.
Virginia Tech and all them used to play in the Big East. They don't.
That was their rival, I think. When they were like a rival.
They were rivals of Miami in the Big East. Miami, Virginia Tech were rivals. Miami and Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech and West Virginia and Pittsburgh. All those were rivals in the Big East.
And they wouldn't believe this if you told them this, that Clemson was actually not the best team in the ACC. And
they were decent, but they weren't no ACC champion.
No,
like 7-5 type.
Yeah,
teams.
Florida State, NC.
It was just there wasn't no and. It was just Florida State and everybody else.
Well, Florida State, NC State came around the way.
Well, Phillip Rivers was there; they were decent, but when it came to winning the ACC, Florida State won like 10 straight ACC titles one time.
Well, in the 90s, Chris Winkie was 40 when he was winning.
Chris Winkie, Chris Ricks, AJ McPherson, all of them.
Peter Ward. Warwick Dunn. Yeah.
He played at Florida State, yeah. Peter Warwick was a receiver there. Florida State, during that time, when it came to the ACC, when Florida State joined the ACC in 1991, they went from like 1991, 2001, I think, won it every year.
Yeah, that's fair assessment. And they wouldn't believe what Texas, Oklahoma. No, Oklahoma may have been. They were a powerhouse in the 80s.
A powerhouse in every decade.
I don't know about 90s.
Well, they won the national championship in 2000. They were good in the 90s. Bob Stoops and all them. I didn't know Oklahoma just to be bad.
No, it's not bad, but they weren't like. Well, they ain't good now. They're okay. I'm saying
they weren't good.
It was Texas over. I think it was like Texas, and then everybody was like OU, and then A&M was like the stepchild.
Well, Bob Stoops won that championship with Oklahoma in 2000. They beat Florida State.
Who was the quarterback there?
Oh God, I don't think it was Jason White. That was a little bit before him. I don't know. Jason White was there for like 6 years though. I don't know. I don't think it was Jason White though. Who was the quarterback before Jason White at Oklahoma?
That's a good question. I do not know. I know Nebraska won in the 90s.
In 1997.
Yeah, when they had what's his name? Frog.
Michigan also claims the national title in 1997 as well. One of them was the AP and one of them was the coaches. And
Brady was not the starter on that team. I think it was Brian Griese.
Brian Griese was, and they had Drew Henson too.
Yep.
Brady only started 1 year in Michigan. He was never like a full-time starter. Even the years he started, he split with Drew Henson.
Yep.
The same Drew Henson that played with the Dallas Cowboys, who was a pitcher for New York Yankees. That same Drew Henson.
And Bill Parsons said, "I've seen enough."
Yep. You remember Drew Henson?
Law and Order.
He was garbage, man.
I mean, yeah, they hyped him up. They hyped Brian Griese up to an extent.
That's because he Bob Griese's kid. And when he wasn't all that. Even when he was in Denver, he wasn't all that.
Bob Griese, well, he went.
He was okay. He was all right.
The running backs were that was Miami. Yeah, that was those tailbacks team.
Man, Miami. I remember that Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore.
Yeah.
And they had a stable of backs in Miami, man.
Yeah. I was about to think about defensive players. Ed Reed.
DJ Williams. I mean, even in later years, like guys like DJ Williams and stuff like that. The late Sean Taylor. I mean, they had. Like, of course, like you said, Ed Reed, they had some ballers, man, up
there. Ed Reed, they had Rose, Samari.
Samari Rose, corner. They had his brother Antrell Rose a little bit later too.
Yeah. They had. You can go back to the 80s, Jerome Brown and freaking. They were
like, so I hate that these kids these days don't know because Miami's never won an ACC title. They've been ACC since 05 and they've never won an ACC championship football. That's crazy.
They won a lot.
I thought they were going to dominate ACC when they came.
The Big East titles, though.
They got a bunch of Big East titles.
They'll never know. Like y'all look at Miami and like, oh, Miami.
But the thing about it, the Big East, besides Miami and Virginia Tech, the Big East wasn't all that strong. Cause, like even Syracuse won the Big East title when McNabb was there.
Yeah, that's true. I like the McNabb at Syracuse. That's my guy.
I'd about forgot when that was so long ago, man.
They were like 90,
98, 99,
90, yeah,
98, I
like
think. 98,
because
97.
Mike Vick won it. He won that next year.
Well, Michael Vick in
national
99, Virginia Tech lost to Florida State in the BCS championship game in 1999.
Yeah.
And Michael Vick was the starter on that Virginia Tech team.
Yeah.
Coached by the legendary Frank Beamer.
Yep. Son, I think
they lost to Bobby Bowden and the Florida State Seminoles.
And his son coaches at South Carolina.
Yeah, Shane Beamer.
He putting something together down there. I give him credit.
They're decent.
Yeah, their defense is suspect, but the offense.
Yeah, overall, I mean they're decent.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to win the national championship or anything like that, but they're going to be competitive like they were last year, win 8 games and stuff like that. They'll be solid.
Yeah, that's solid. This is a solid team. It's better than what they were.
Well, right, you got to realize that South Carolina, they don't have national championship expectations. If you win 8 games a year at South Carolina, you're fine.
Lou Holtz.
Yeah, but just like and then Holtz came there, he's considered like a legendary coach coming from Notre Dame. That was considered like a big time hire. But like I said, and he won by 8 games or whatever in the better years. And that's Steve Spurrier had the best years there. He won like 9 games a year. That's all you got to do. And won the SEC East like in 2010 and 11 or 9 and 10. I think they played the SEC.
And beat Alabama or Georgia whenever you put them on your schedule. That's a national championship.
Yeah, but like I said, South Carolina doesn't have the expectations of Alabama, LSU, Georgia. The expectations win 8 games. They fool around and win 9 games one year. Hey, you're good.
Unless you're women's basketball, it's about the only way now.
Yeah, but Dawn Staley got a powerhouse down
there. Yeah, but we're gonna find out Sunday.
Who they play Sunday?
LSU.
They'll beat them.
That'll be one verse. I think it's one. They won, and they won and they 2. I think they're 1 and LSU is number 2. They both.
I remember the coach of LSU got fired a couple years ago, Pokey Chapman, when they found out she was acting inappropriately.
Well, you know.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember what happened though?
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
But, yeah, they were saying there was some inappropriate contact with one of the players.
Well, you know. That I don't think that's the first encounter. That just came out to light. But I don't think that's the first time that me personally, I think that's happening.
Be careful how you word all this.
Yeah, I'm not. No. I think it's happening in other places as well. Like it's college, I'd say that. I think it's happening in those places as well.
Hey, you think you know Ariana? Never mind.
No, him, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think any of them will want him. So
now, if you ask me about another particular coach, yeah, I think possibly because I still don't I don't know her preference because I never know her preference. So since she was a WNBA player, I'd never know was she on this side.
You ain't talking about South Carolina, are you?
Mm-hmm.
No comment. I mean, she's an excellent coach and doing excellent work, and I'm happy to see what she's doing.
Yeah, I am too. But I don't know. That's for another day.
Dawn Staley is doing excellent work at the University of South Carolina. Man, she's won. I know she won that championship. Might have won another one. I don't keep up with it, but
I think she got 2.
Yeah, so I remember she played with Charlotte Sting. Was an all-star here in Charlotte. I remember she used to coach Temple too while she was playing for the Charlotte Sting. Dawn Staley is a great ambassador for basketball, and the game is fortunate that she's a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that she's going to be the one that helps these women get those big payouts eventually. I think it'll come the day when those women actually get paid to play.
Paid by who?
Somebody. Somebody willing to give you some money. Let me stop, man. I ain't trying to be. I'm just saying. I hope.
I think it's great that we have the WNBA. I think it's it's a great league. That we have the best women basketball players in the world, and it allows them a platform to showcase their skill. And I want them to have as much success as possible on the court, off the court, financially. And I want the best for them, and want them to. I would love to see them make as much money as they possibly can, and want them to have the best experience in their career as well. And hopefully there could be a system in place one day to where they can be compensated for their level of professionalism.
I hope they get it too. I mean, it's gonna have to come from a lot of different sources, but
yeah, and hopefully, something can happen that can make that become a reality.
Yeah, because I mean, you paying. Listen, I'm just gonna say this: you pay these bums in the NBA all this money, you can at least pay these women something.
Or maybe they can reallocate some things around to make that a possibility.
Yeah, honestly, since the inauguration of that league, I think they may have had one good, like, as far as rating, the first couple years, and then after that, it's just like,
and I think there needs to be a better job at advertising and showcasing their games, and maybe and a lot of that comes with money.
Yeah, and
maybe
because I don't know when their season starts.
Memorial Day weekend usually.
Okay, and like I said, that's me, because you don't hear about it, so I don't really know.
And see, I think when you don't have that many teams, so that means you don't have that many markets. That doesn't help either. Just like a lot, like Charlotte.
I thought they brought them back at least when they brought the Hornets back.
Yeah, well, the Bobcats ran them for a little while when they switched their colors to blue and orange. But the Charlotte Sting folded. Like the Houston Comets, who won their first 4 championships, they ceased operation. When you have that going on, man, that makes it difficult. There are a lot of talented women in the WNBA who are amongst the best athletes in the world. It's just that, unfortunately, the exposure, the advertisement, the revenue.
It's that of a G League.
Huh?
Is the advertisement is that of a G League?
I get what you're saying. Like this, the level of exposure and advertisement and the marketing of it. I think these young ladies deserve to be marketed properly. And I'm talking about their game. Excuse me, their game deserves to be marketed properly. I think need to do a better job marketing their players, putting faces with the names. That will help with the recognition. Also with attendance. And let's be frank about it. If we're going to talk about women empowerment, I expect other women who support this league and men who support this league to attend games. Their attendance is porous.
Yeah.
So all of those things factor in too. That because attendance determines like how much revenue you generate. If you struggle to sell tickets, it's kind of hard. It's not the ladies' fault. I think it's not the best marketing in the world, and it's something that I'm sure needs to be discussed, and hopefully there could be more exposure for this wonderful game that they play.
I agree, and I think they need to put somebody of some sort of, let's just say, for the sake of argument, a woman of some voice that has a little pool could kind of like put that.
Here's an idea. Why don't they do it like high school basketball, like doubleheader, run the seasons at the same time, do a doubleheader? Like if an NBA game is going to start at 8 p.m., like make the ticket where the WNBA game is played first, but like your ticket is good for both of them.
Kind of like an opening JV varsity type deal.
Yeah, or like women's, like a high school, the girls play first and then the guys play after. Like for example, like when you got the LA Lakers and LA Sparks, like the Lakers. Let's say the Lakers game would start 8 local time. Because the girls games don't start later. Start the Sparks game at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6, 4, yeah, something like that. Because they ain't gonna be that.
Because their games are only 40-minute games. I mean 40 minutes instead of 40 minutes.
Yeah, 10-minute quarters.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you can, and they used to be two halves like in college, but same thing.
Yeah.
Women's college basketball do 10-minute quarters too. Yeah, but maybe if you did it something like that and made it also part of the telecast, like ESPN when they showing the Lakers game, like start off showing the Sparks game right before the Lakers game and lead into it.
Yeah, like okay, the
Yeah,
game.
and then like the fans when they're getting the tickets, the tickets are good for the Sparks game and the Lakers game. Like you're paying, like you might have to raise the price to make the Lakers ticket higher. So, but you're getting another game involved too. Then that way, you can.
Yeah, you go watch. You watching 2 games in one night. So yeah.
Yeah, like the double header type thing. Maybe that's something they could do where the team now. If someone like the Connecticut Sun or something, they don't have. You know.
Yeah. I mean, they had to go play in Boston or something.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Celtics.
Had to go play like Boston, but
Yeah,
I think it worked. I get the concept. That's a good idea. Like it'll
yeah,
make
man,
money.
like
It'll bring a lot of revenue in.
the New York Liberty, they could either play with the Knicks or the Nets, or like split it. Like they could do half of the games with the Knicks and half of them with the Nets.
Yeah, they could be like, yeah, that's true. They can go down the street to Barclays or come back up to the Garden.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
either way, all right, we'll get into this Super Bowl prediction because we getting at that hour and 30-something minute mark.
yeah. I'm getting sleepy. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna get your take on it first. Your score, what you think is gonna happen.
All right, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win. I
Okay.
think the reason why Philadelphia Eagles have arguably the best pass rush in the league. They have four guys with double-digit sacks this season, including Hassan Reddick, who used to play down here in Carolina. um, I remember when Kansas City lost to Tampa, they lost because Tampa had a fierce pass rush, and Eric Fisher, who's the Pro Bowl starting right tackle, I mean the Pro Bowl left tackle, and Jeff Schwartz, who was the All Pro right tackle, both missed that game, so they had Mike Remmers and another backup starting, and Jason Pierre-Paul and their pass rushers feasted upon that. Quarterback is only going to be as good as his protection. And Mahomes is still on a gimpy ankle, so his mobility is not going to be at full strength. If they can't protect him, and here's the thing: Kansas City has the potential to run the ball effectively. They're not like a running powers, but they can run it effectively. Andy Reid has never shown patience to run the football, and if they don't show enough patience to give a consistent run of the football, if they try to let Mahomes stand back there in the shotgun all day and try to throw it downfield, you're not going to have time to let all that develop. And I think that'll allow the Philadelphia pass rush to wreak some havoc and maybe even create some turnovers. I think on the other end, Philadelphia has an excellent running attack. Philadelphia is not going to be cute. They're going to want to be physical, muddy this game up. They're going to run that ball, run some zone read with Hurts, let Hurts take shots with play action with those receivers. I think they're gonna. I think the Philadelphia Eagles win this game. I'm gonna say 34-24.
Okay. I'll say this. It's going me personally. I'm going to say I'm going to take Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm about like with you. The pass rush has been the focal point for them this year. I mean, the offense has been spectacular. Don't get it twisted. AJ Brown,
The other receivers good too.
they're good, but that
Tyreek's
running
good.
game, they can run that rock. Quarterback or running back, you let him get out and get open in that field, it's gonna be a long day. I'm taking Philadelphia. I'm probably gonna go. Let's just say 35-24.
We got the same. I said 34-24. We in the same. We kind of looking at the game the same exact way.
Yeah, 35-24.
Because I feel like Philadelphia's going to have a pretty sizable lead, and Kansas City going to try to come back, and that's where the 24 going to come from.
That's where the 24 will come from.
Well, I feel like Philadelphia going to be up something like 27-10, but Kansas City going to come roaring back, but Philadelphia's still going to be able to hold them off.
This is going to be the X factor. One of your quarterbacks is going to be able to get mobile, and the other one's I don't think he's 100%.
And I think that Philadelphia pass rush is going to create some turnovers.
Mm-hmm. And
so sack fumble, stuff like that.
Yep. And that Kansas City line it's not top in the league by none. So I mean, even the Bengals with what they got to him.
Yeah.
So he can be got.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be, and even
and then the fact that with their play calling, lots of times sometimes they don't put him in position to not get hit, because what happens, they don't show enough patience running the ball. They just want to stand there and throw it down the field all the time. And they try to sit there and just have to sling it downfield all the time, and they don't really have top-notch guys on that side. They got Kelsey and tight end. They don't have top guys. I know they got Smith Schuster, but they don't have vertical threats on that side. And they're trying to hit those, trying to throw the ball vertically like that. And when that pass rush comes in, they're not going to have time to do that.
Nah. And Mahomes, and he's not gonna be able to run. He can move, but he ain't gonna be able to get. He ain't gonna be able to get loose like Hurts is going to.
Yeah, they got 4 guys with double-digit sacks.
That's it, and the rest of them gonna be back in coverage. So they're gonna have to.
And they got good corners too. Darius Slay and James Bradbury. They got Pro Bowl corners too. So
they're gonna have it covered. I feel like it's gonna come down to what quarterback can make plays with his legs. It's gonna come down to running the ball too, like you said. I think if Kansas City don't come out with some kind of ground attack, it's not gonna be pretty. Philadelphia, it's just gonna pound it. They're gonna run it. They're gonna run the clock.
I agree. Shorten the game. I agree.
Yep, to shorten the game. That keeps Patrick out the field from throwing the ball. So that's why I said it'll be 35-24 Philadelphia.
I'm saying 34-24 Philadelphia. So we're right there to go.
We're right there. So they'll score 35. On that defense, they can score 30.
I agree.
Yeah. Only your best pass rush is just Chris Jones. So
you got one guy.
If they could double Chris Jones, Jalen Hurts is gonna have a pretty good day.
Yeah, chip him with a tight end, put a back there or something like that.
Yeah, so that's why I said he's gonna have a good day. And secondary is real bad in Kansas City. So
yeah,
AJ Brown might get that game that he wants.
Play action, they can light him up and play action.
Yeah, and ain't nobody gonna be able to keep up with Devontae Smith. It's not gonna happen. But we at the hour and 41-minute mark, or 42 now. It's been a good session today. We talked about a whole bunch, got a lot off the table. You got any final remarks for the evening? Give you the floor.
Sure thing, man. Again, good to be back. Good to discuss the games that we love. It's good that we're all here in one piece with our full health and strength. I say that every day that we have our full health and strength is a win. Looking forward to another Super Bowl. Also, looking forward to the spring and summer coming here and just enjoying life. It's been 3 years since we kind of got introduced to our new world, and guess what, man? We're getting through it, and things are kind of feeling like the old days a little bit, and I'm happy about it. I'm thankful for it, and that lets you know when the man is in charge, you have nothing to worry about.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just going into the red room. So I want to say appreciate everybody for coming through tonight. Yes, I look like the Brood back in Attitude Era.
Gangrel.
Yeah, Gangrel and the Brood. But appreciate y'all for coming through tonight, man. I had a good conversation, man, and we getting back to it. Like I said, it's just busy, conflicting schedules. But I plan on doing a couple lives here and there, trying to some topics that need to be talked about. One of them I didn't touch on tonight, but I want to see how that was gonna play out, because the boy that cried wolf is now trying to sue because he got caught in some stuff with food stamps. But anyway, we're gonna get out of it. But we out till next time.
Oh, you talking Pat McAfee?
I like Pat McAfee. Let me tell you something. I like his show. He keeps it real. That's why I like listening to his show.
I remember when he was a partner for the Indianapolis Colts when he was in West Virginia. And then I see him in WWE on SmackDown sometimes. So.
Yeah, that's why I said I like Pat.
Nah, you should have seen what Pat said on Twitter. He told Brett Favre, "Bring it on."
Yeah. I mean, he ain't got nothing. You can't. How you gonna sue somebody and it's public information?
Yeah.
You can't sue nobody. That's public record.
Hey,
They have the
well,
right to speak on what they want to say.
hey, when we get together again, we'll see what's going on with that.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely get it. Like I said, that's just a breaking story. So that story is gonna involve more. So we'll be back for that one. So well, until next time, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Pale, All Work No Play. Y'all go subscribe to All Work No Play. He's on YouTube. Check him out. He does car reviews and whatnot. So y'all go check out All Work No Play. Also check out the Trap House. They go live whenever. Channel Chill Town. He does Mondays, Wednesdays, and I feel like he may be going live tonight. I'm not sure. Usually Fridays.
Yeah, great guy too. A great friend of the show. We're also a friend of his show. Always great to do partnerships with Chilltown.
Oh yeah. Let Me Hold Something. Check them out. They're also part of the Trap House podcast. For the hard way, the ladies that run the Day Over in the Trap, go check them out as well. They have a pretty good podcast. They talk about some pretty good stuff. Talking Kicks, man. Definitely go check out Talking Kicks podcast. OG Sneakers, Beard Jedi, and Cadillac Jackson. Go check those fellas out, man. They have you rolling. Those guys they're hilarious, man. So y'all get them some love over there as well, because they definitely give us love over here. But until next time, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. We'll get back at you.
No doubt.
Yo, I was gonna ask you a question.
And that